my live stream lectures this afternoon. And before I get started in today's lecture, I just want to take a moment to thank all of my supporters and everyone for supporting my YouTube channel. And don't forget to mark your calendar for June the 24th at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to do another relational live stream lecture I'm going to talk about and discuss many of the behind the scene things I continue to do to continue to push my channel into the next stratosphere in terms of how the continued growth of my channel. My channel has been almost monetized now, going on 3 years. January 2024, my YouTube channel earned the YouTube Silver Play Button Award, and that was a tremendous feat. In August of 2024, my YouTube channel became eligible for major brand deals. And once a content creator channel becomes eligible for major brand deals, what that means is companies and businesses and corporations will enter into a contractual agreement with that content creator to pay them to run their product and services and brand across their channel. So I'm going to go in detail on June the 24th at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and things in terms of what I'm doing to continue to grow my channel. So with that being said, let's get on down to today's lecture. Actually, this is a positive affirmation lecture, and I tell anyone, doing positive affirmations on a daily basis, or to have that positive mindset, or positive thinking, has an impact on the success in all areas of your life. And one of the books that I read is, simply put, Positive Affirmations, 365 Days. I don't even know this author, but her name is Nicole Lockhart, and it's a lot of positive affirmations she has in this book. And one of the ones that I read and it resonates with me, it says, I am open to new ideas that will contribute to my success. Once you set goals for yourself, either written goals or on a vision board, the next step is working on your plan to achieving them. You never know where new ideas might come from, so be open to new ideas that you previously had never considered. And that's one of her daily positive affirmations. And this one here really resonates with me because I have been goal focused my entire life. I've always known the power of writing down my goals, and not only just writing down my goals, but writing down measurable objectives, specific steps, action steps that I must do in order to achieve that goal. That's real talk. And I have been goal focused, like I said, all my life. Even, my book title, Awake Financial Freedom, that hit all major bookstores well over 3 years ago. But I can remember when I was in the phase of writing my manuscript for my book. I will never forget this. And one of the goals I wrote down on my strategic business plan was to have my book published. Because just because you write a manuscript, that don't mean your manuscript is going to be accepted by a major publishing company. So one of the first things I did was wrote down on my business plan goal to write my book. And at that time, I didn't even have a title for it. But my goal was to write my book. And one of my measurable objectives, action steps that link to the writing of my manuscript, every Saturday for 2 hours from noon to 2 p.m., I would sit down and I would write each chapter to my manuscript. It took me a year and a half to complete my manuscript. And once I submitted my manuscript went through, my manuscript got accepted by 2 world-renowned publishing companies. Page Publishing Company did the soft copy of my book, the Kindle version, the ebook version. And then October of 2023, I went through a second world-renowned publishing company, Audiobook Network, for them to publish my published work into an audio version. So this book is available in any version, but my point is, in the beginning stage, I had to sit my behind down and write down a goal was to write my book. And I wrote down the action steps that I had to take every single Saturday from 12 to noon for over a year and a half. I was writing my manuscript until the goal was completed, until the manuscript was done. And then the rest is history. So again, like I said, in terms of this positive affirmation, in relation to I am open to new ideas that will contribute to my success. Once you have set goals for yourself, and then anytime you set a goal, you got to have a deadline for that goal. That goal's got to have a deadline. And the reason why it needs a deadline, because that's going to hold you accountable to do what you say that you're going to do. So once you have set some goals for yourself, either written goals or on a vision board, the next step is working on your plan to achieving them. Because just because you write down a goal, that don't mean you're going to finish it. That's why you got to write down those measurable objectives, those action steps, many things that you must do that link to the goal and give it a projected due date in order to make it to the finish line. You never know where new ideas might come from, so be open to new ideas that you previously had never considered. And I can remember when I was in the writing phase of my manuscript, and I blocked out that time. And throughout the rest of the week, something may come to my mind in terms of, I need to add this to my manuscript. I need to add this to the writing of my manuscript. So I would jot that down. So when Saturday came from 12 to 2, I will incorporate that thought into my manuscript. And I did that religiously for over a year and a half. And I'm telling you, now all I got to do is the Page Publishing Company, Audio Book Network, my publisher, they track the sales of my book through the barcode. I will receive quarterly checks from two world-renowned publishing companies for the rest of my life on the sales of these books. So I'm telling you, no one could have ever told me as a first-time author that my manuscript would have been accepted by two world-renowned publishing companies. And let me tell you something. One way you can tell if a publisher book has gone through a publishing company, all you got to do is turn it over. And across from the barcode in the ISBN, it will always have that publishing company logo on that book. And that's power. So, and I'm telling you, even though my book hit all major bookstores well over 3 years ago for the printed version, the Kindle version, the ebook version, the audio version became available October of 2023. Page Publishing Company and Audio Book Network, hands are still on this book. They're tracking my sales through the barcode. They're restocking my books. A person can walk into any bookstore and get the soft copy of this book anywhere in the world. I don't have to worry about restocking anything. The publishing company does all of that in addition to sending me my quarterly royalty checks on the sales of my book. But it's credibility. It's credibility when an author has gone through a publishing companies, that sets the platform for book signings, that sets the platforms for other stakeholders to seek you out in relation to your book in terms of collaboration, and the list goes on and on and on and on and on. So again, positive affirmations is a critical piece that can have an impact on a positive impact on all areas of your life. It can have a positive impact on achieving all of your goals that you set out to achieve, but you got to make sure those goals have measurable, objective action steps, meaning steps that you got to take in order to achieve that goal. And most importantly, make sure any goal that you come up with has a deadline. And the reason why all goals need to have a deadline, because it's going to hold you accountable to do what you say that you're going to do. So that's all I have. And again, don't forget to mark your calendar for June 24th at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on my lecture. I'm going to give insight in regards to many of the things I do to continue to develop and to cultivate and to grow my YouTube channel. That's all I have. Simplify, simple fidelis, and I'm going to leave you in the care of your own conscience. Have a great day.